The Volvo XC40 is one of the best small SUVs you can get. It looks great, is comfortable, and the infotainment system is incredibly easy to use. So if you are looking for a small SUV, then this is the one you should get. Whoa, I'm sure this is a nice vehicle, but this is the Mercedes GLA, a car that exudes the quality that Mercedes is known for. It too is comfortable, practical, and it has a fuel efficiency that rivals some of the competition, including the XC40. And whilst the XC40 is a nice vehicle, if you are looking for a small SUV, then this is the one you should get. So, which one should you get? Well, to try and decide this, I'm going to break it down to 7 meaningful categories, then compare each vehicle against each category to find out which one comes out on top. Now, to try and keep this fair, both vehicles are manufactured at around the same time. They both cost a similar price, and with the exception of the GLA Sport Edition, they're the base trim for both models. I've also driven both vehicles for several months, and to try and keep this comparison short, I'm only going to look at each category from a top level. So let's get into it, starting with category 1, which looks better? When it comes to aesthetics, both the GLA and XC40 look fantastic. They're both classy and they both have a premium look that rivals much of the competition. The GLA is smaller than the XC40 and has softer edges, giving it a quieter, more refined look. Between the two vehicles, I prefer the sleeker, more sophisticated front of the GLA. It may not shout out quite the same as the XC40, but it knows what it is. It's a Mercedes. However, for me, the overall look is underwhelming and doesn't stand out from its rivals. The XC40, on the other hand, is larger and more imposing than the GLA. It has sharper lines and a more prominent front. It may not have changed much over the last few years, but it looks fantastic and comfortably takes a win over the GLA. Category number 2, interior and quality. For me, this is where the GLA stands out, as although the XC40 is good, the GLA looks more impressive, with more of a wow factor when you get in. The quality of the materials used, from the plastics to the seats, the way the front displays have been designed and positioned, together with the mix of fake leather and textile upholstery, all help give the GLA an air of quality and refinement over the XC40. Now, that's not to say the XC40 is terrible. It isn't, as it also uses high quality materials and it's extremely well designed. But its textile seating combined with its overall look doesn't have the same refinement or quality as the GLA, and so for interior and quality, the GLA takes it. Next is technology. Now, this is a topic I could go into great depth with, but I'll keep it brief. Both the XC40 and GLA have things the other does well. The infotainment system in the XC40 is excellent, and the Mercedes-Benz user experience, better known as MBUX or infotainment system, in the GLA is very good. Both have touchscreens and both are fast and responsive. The MBUX feels more rounded. It has its own command navigation system, MBUX voice assistant, and broadly more functionality. Controlling the system can be done using the touchscreen, through voice commands, or by using the touch buttons on the steering wheel, making it very easy to use. You can also connect to Android Auto or Apple CarPlay wirelessly, whereas in the XC40 you'll need a USB-C cable to connect to Apple CarPlay. The infotainment system in the XC40 feels less complex. It uses Google Maps, Google Voice Assistant and the Google Play Store. And while it may not offer the same broad range of functionality as the GLA, it still offers everything you need and does it well. Like the GLA, you can control the system through its touchscreen or by using voice commands. But unlike the GLA, there's very little you can control from the steering wheel. However, the Google Voice Assistant in the XC40 feels better than the MBUX Voice Assistant in the GLA. It not only feels quicker, but I don't have to repeat things as much, and broadly speaking, I feel like I can ask it more questions. On the app side of things, both Mercedes and Volvo have an app you can download to your phone that allows you to control various functions of each vehicle, see their location, view their status, book a service and more. The Mercedes app offers many more features, but you will need to pay to get the most out of it. The Volvo car app doesn't offer nearly as much, but it is all free, and I particularly like the remote engine stop-start feature, something I regularly use during the winter months to heat up and defrost the car before I got in. So where does that leave us with this category? Well, while the GLA does offer more, you'll need to put more time in to learn it all, and even then it feels unnecessarily complicated. The XC40, on the other hand, feels less complex and easier to use, and while it may not offer quite as much as the GLA, the infotainment system as a whole, together with the app, is excellent, and it takes this category. On to features. There's only one winner here, and that's the XC40. There are just so many small, simple things that give it an edge over the GLA. For example, in the front, I find it easy to store and reach for things. There's a foldable hook in the glove compartment that I often use to hook a bag over when I don't want it to spill. There's also a pen holder in the glove compartment, and something I find surprisingly useful is a ticket holder in the windscreen. And I particularly like the way the boot or trunk divider goes under the floor so it's completely out of the way. And there's an armrest complete with cup holders for passengers in the back, but there isn't one in the Mercedes. And it's the simple things like this that have been added to the Volvo that makes life just that little bit easier. So features goes to the XC40. Next is comfort. When it comes to comfort, there's not a great deal between them. The front seats in both vehicles are extremely comfortable, particularly with the lumbar support they offer, and I will happily go on a long journey in either of these vehicles. However, the armrests and the seats in the XC40 are just a little more comfortable. The interior is more spacious and it's easier to get into, which is particularly useful if this is something you or a family member struggle with. The larger interior, together with the inclusion of an armrest in the back, also adds to the XC40's comfort, and for these reasons it comfortably takes this category. On to fuel efficiency. There's only one winner here, and that's the GLA. It's simply more fuel efficient than the heavier 2-litre turbocharged XC40, where I'm getting around 35 miles to the gallon, compared to 37 miles to the gallon I get with the GLA. So a quick one this, fuel efficiency goes to the GLA. And that brings me on to driving experience. Both the GLA and XC40 have a 7-speed automatic transmission. They both have similar acceleration times of 8.7 and 8.6 seconds, and they both have similar top speeds, although if you are in the United Kingdom, there is a limiter on the XC40 that keeps it to 112 miles an hour. So then, which has the better driving experience? Well, the GLA feels more refined. It may not be as exciting to drive as the XC40, but there's an elegance to it, and it does everything reasonably well. The accelerator is responsive, it holds the road well, the steering feels intuitive, and it will comfortably get you from A to B without complaint. But it's not the most thrilling to drive, and the cabin feels noticeably smaller than the XC40. However, the XC40 is exciting to drive, and like the GLA, it holds the road well and the steering is responsive, but its turning circle is abysmal, and I do notice its poorer fuel efficiency. However, having driven both vehicles for several months, I do prefer driving over the GLA, and so driving experience goes to the XC40. So if I tally the scores up here, the objective winner in 5 out of the 7 categories is the Volvo XC40, but in some cases it is close. So which small SUV should you get? Well, for me the clear winner is the XC40. It's just a better all-round car. If you'd like to see my full review for each of these vehicles, I've added links in the description below. But what about you? Are you thinking about getting a GLA or XC40? Perhaps you own one already. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Meanwhile, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe below and hit the like button. By doing this, your support makes a big difference and it's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.